Hey guys, Braxis here, and I'm going to be playing some Space Engine. So, I don't have too many suggestions today actually, but it's going to be one of those rambly episodes I tend to do. Anyways, I was looking into microphone solutions, and I should be getting money from YouTube like possibly next month or the month after, and I am practically out of hard drive space. I got like 80 gigs left to actually work with. I've already uninstalled like half of my Steam library purely for YouTube. I only have like a 1 terabyte drive, and every single one of my videos takes like 1 to 4 gigabytes. So yeah, it actually gets kind of yeah, I'm out of space pretty much. I got like another month's worth of possibly recording, if even. But yeah, I just yeah, like I said, rambly episode. I'm just gonna go off on a tangent. But let's go ahead and start with our first suggestion here from Andromeda, which is actually from the previous episode. He's actually gonna have 5 in this video because I didn't skip over him, but he suggested things like while I was uploading, so or after I was uploading or something. So I'm gonna include a lot from him. Anyways, let's just go over to this cold desert. And yeah, the reason why I'm just bringing this up is because yeah, I'm looking at the Antlion Mod Mic 4.0. Currently, I use an Audio Technica AT2020 as my microphone. I don't really have the kind of studio space or anything like that for this microphone. It's yeah, like this room is not in any way sound treated. It's on the other side of the front door of the house, and you just hear so much background noise, like my keyboard clacking away, or my chair squeaking, or things like that. And another thing I tend to do is because these videos turn out to be like an hour long. I'm just gonna turn on the volume here. Yeah, these videos turn out to be like an hour long, so yeah, it's pretty soon they're probably gonna be getting closer to 2 hours, and that's just gonna take more hard drive space and all that kind of stuff. And I do want to move them up to like 60 FPS, so there's so many variables here that's kind of like I'm a little bit not prepared for this. So I'm probably going to get an Antlion Mod Mic 4.0. I might even sell my Audio Technica AT2020, even though it's a great like studio microphone kind of thing. Like a really good cardioid microphone. It's like, it's just too sensitive. It picks up everything. And another thing I have to do with this thing in order to like not get like a high noise floor and all that kind of stuff is I have to turn down the gain substantially. And this is kind of like a Mars like desert. It's orbiting around a beautiful gas giant. And I know I'm rambling, but rambling episode. And yeah, it just has a high noise floor if I turn up the gain. If I turn up the gain, I peak, and that is not good. Like suddenly there'll be a huge variance between like the volume of my voice and stuff. But I got a comment from LC Gaming say, please talk louder in your videos. Uh, I do talk loud in my videos. In fact, yeah, I mean, I have a naturally quiet voice and kind of smooth monotone voice, but yeah, I do talk loud in my videos. It's just I have to turn my gain down on my microphone or else it picks up everything because it's way too sensitive of a mic. So that's why I'm thinking the Antlion Mod Mic 4.0 might be better because it's really noise canceling. And the reviews and videos I've looked at of it are like pretty substantial. I mean, they're like really nice. It's a really nice microphone. Almost comparable to the AT2020, but like a kind of different style of microphone. Like this would be great if I was doing a podcast. Something like the Antlion Mod Mic 4.0 clips onto my, or it doesn't clip on my headphones, but it like sticks onto my headphones, which I'm using Sennheiser HD 558s. Really good, affordable pair of headphones. And yeah, it would make a very good, it would basically convert it into a headset. And I have like this thing against headsets because headsets always seem to have really crappy microphones. Like they are not good at all. So yeah, essentially that's where I'm kind of at. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to buy a 2 terabyte internal hard drive and possibly an Antlion mod mic. So, no, I don't know. It's just rambling. I hope that improves the quality of like my audio on the channel and lets me less cautiously be able to just produce very long videos and very high quality videos and 60 FPS and 4K and all those other fun like things I like to do. Because the 1080p 30 FPS is alright. I mean, this is totally acceptable for these type of videos, especially if they're like 2 hours long. They don't really need to be 60 FPS. But I do plan to get back into like playthroughs of games, even though a lot of people are probably not going to watch it because they're here for the space content. I am going to get into the playthroughs and stuff. Like, I hope to get back into uploading ARMA videos and stuff. So I'm hoping I can get those recorded in like 1080p 60 FPS, not 30. So yeah, it's just stuff I pretty much wanted to mention. Yeah, what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was looking through my... If I go to my channel, I have like this little section at the bottom that says related channels. And there's this one channel called Venera 13 Studios. And I looked at like the most recent 2 of his videos. And he actually does videos very similar to the ones I do. In fact, he shows up in my suggestions a lot. We basically do both like kind of like space engine exploration videos and stuff. And the video he uploaded a week ago was saying he doesn't have a lot of suggestions, so I was thinking maybe it would be kind of nice if you guys can go over to his channel, check his stuff out, because I mean it's awesome. He does pretty much the same thing I do right here. And yeah, he has more subscribers than me and all that, but I don't know. His most recent videos don't look like they're getting too many views. In fact, they're kind of comparable to my videos in views. So I was going to say, go over to his channel and leave him a ton of IDs. Like, flood him with a list of, like, 5 IDs, like 5 different planets and stuff, just space engine IDs. And you don't even have to tell him, like, I sent you or anything. Just go check out his channel. I'll have, like, a link to his channel, like, down in the comments or description or something. Yeah, go check his channel out. It's actually pretty awesome. He does, like I said, very similar stuff to what I normally do. KSP, Space Engine. I don't think he does Universe Sandbox 2. No, it looks like primarily KSP and Space Engine. And Subnautica, it looks like. I don't know what else he does. Occasionally Minecraft, or maybe he used to do Minecraft. But yeah, check out his channel. It's pretty awesome. There's a video with like spider eggs. I'm gonna probably watch that later because that might be interesting. Anyways, let's see. Okay, so let's continue on. So we're on a kind of Mars-like desert world. Oh yeah, and I noticed down in the comments of his videos, a lot of my viewers are actually viewers of his channel as well. I noticed like Derpsauce Gaming and a few other people who are just regulars on my channel actually do watch his videos as well. So that's very cool. So let's go ahead and check this out. Yeah, it's like a kind of Mars-like desert here, but it has kind of a thicker atmosphere, from what I could tell. The atmospheric pressure, let's get Mars up for comparison. It'd be kind of cool if there was like a feature in this game where you can select 2 planets at once and actually compare like their numbers. That would be very cool. Let's get Mars up and let's just see the atmospheric pressure difference. This is 0.03 and Mars is 0.01. So yeah, this does have a slightly thicker and more visible atmosphere than Mars. If I touch down on it though, I'm sure we can actually see space. Yeah, even in the daytime sky. So not quite as Mars-like. But we do have some lovely polar caps, which is very cool. And it looks like volcanic activity. Let's just slam right down into the planet here. And what is my altitude currently? Because this looks like a very, very tall mountain. Okay, so 1 meter. And from sea level, this is a... I'm not quite at the highest point. That might actually be the highest point right there. So I'm going to assume this is the highest point. This is a 32 kilometer tall volcano. That is a very, very tall volcano. I think it's covered in snow as well. Oh yeah, I am at the polar cap. So yeah, it's actually covered in snow. And does the polar cap... It does actually kind of climb in altitude a little bit. So from sea level, yeah, it's a pretty tall volcano. We got kind of a nice pinkish reddish atmosphere with kind of a green fade at the top, kind of yellowish. And it looks like the atmosphere is just purely carbon dioxide, so not exactly healthy. Let's go over to the dark side here where there's this active volcano. It fades off to kind of a hellish red. You can see kind of the winded sand or snow texture there. Yeah, that was a snow texture, it looks like. Let's go over to where the desert is. Yeah, it fades off to kind of a nice red sunset, so very nice. And you can see the galaxy there, and also, where was that gas giant? Oh, we got a lot of irregular galaxies over there. Check that out. There's 1, 2, 3. Then we got a spiral galaxy back there. Is that Andromeda? Galaxy M66. Looks like the Andromeda galaxy texture, though. We have another galaxy there, a spiral one, just facing straight towards us. And, yeah, I seem to have lost track of that gas giant. Ah, there it was. Here, I'm sure, yeah, we're kind of nice and illuminated from our parenting gas giant, because we're on a moon. So, very nice. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from Andromeda. The first 5 will be. And he wants me to go to another moon, it looks like. Wait, which planet is this? Did I select? Oh, no, that's the one I just visited. Okay. Oh, and yeah, if he does actually end up watching this video, I want to mention your video setting problem where you're actually having things kind of flicker and stuff. When things flicker like that, it's typically due to your magnitude being too high, and on top of that, I tend to turn diffraction spikes to normal because I actually run into some problems with simple, where diffraction spikes and stuff will disappear. And also make sure you have MSAA off and all that. Like, here's my video settings if you want to like try these settings. This is what works for me. I keep all like the motion blur stuff off, so that's just a matter of taste right there. So it looks like we have a star. I assume he wants me to visit these planets that are life-bearing. So we have a really, really awesome looking desert actually with life. Okay, let's just get that off the screen. And also make sure to turn off these planet charts. That also lags up the game quite a bit and causes issues if you leave them open. So yeah, we have a kind of really, really detailed looking desert from the outside. Like, it looks pretty nice. As we get closer, it kind of looks more like a Selena. It's a bit weird. Let's go ahead and touch down in this green area. It has terrestrial life, of course. It's a desert. There's no water on it. It looks like it has the grass texture, but it's kind of like a orange color with a green shadowing on it. Here we have what I can only assume will probably be winded sand or something like that, kind of blending in. No, it's actually not. I don't know what that is. It looks like some kind of sand. I see like the noise texture there. You can see that it looks like sand grains. So I guess some type of just flat sand. And what's over here? Okay. Is this snow? This might be snow. No, the temperature is too high on this planet. It is, it's 52 degrees Celsius. It's way too warm to actually be snow. This looks like a life texture, but it's white. Let's go ahead and back out over here, and it looks like we have some kind of pinkish rings, I would say. It's a galaxy there. I don't think that's the Milky Way. It's not the right color. No. See 5679A. And over here, it looks like we have kind of a, I would say, blue sunset. Let's check that out. Oh yeah, a really, really blue sunset is the... I can't see the parent star. I assume it's this direction. Ah, there it is. So the sunset actually doesn't fade off to a red. It's actually just a blue sunset. And a blue atmosphere, so very, very blue. It's not a very thick atmosphere, I would say. That volcano actually peaks right out of it. But this is actually a, let's get this all off the screen. This is actually a very nice view of the world. Really nice little detailed view. Very cool. The size of this planet, let's go ahead and get this selected again, has a diameter of 9,000 kilometers, so it's not all that big. It's about 71% of Earth, as it says right there. So, 3/4 the size of Earth. Semi-major axis of 54, so 0.54, the distance between Earth and the Sun. So I could only assume this is either a very weak yellow dwarf or it's just an orange dwarf. Yellow subgiant. Let's go over and check out the star. Is it carrying that, or is there like another star or object somewhere around? No. I guess it's just a yellow subgiant. How big is this? The diameter is 1.8 million, 1.86 mil. Let's get the sun up for comparison. 1.39 mil. Okay, so it actually is a little bit bigger than the sun. I guess this is going through a, it's not quite a giant star, like a red giant or anything like that, but maybe this is like a later phase in like the sun, pretty much. Like, will this be our sun in a few billion years? Maybe. But let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion. Once again, Andromeda. And these are suggestions he made on my last video. So let's go ahead and get started here. And here we go, an orange dwarf. Ooh, and it looks like we are in a star cluster between a galactic collision, if I were to make a guess. And that is indeed what that appears to be. It's been a while since Andromeda has suggested a galactic collision. So we have an orange dwarf here. And it looks like we have a few planets with life. Of course, this one I think actually has a moon. No, never mind. So this just has aerial life, as is typical with gas giants with life. And my guess is it'll probably be panspermia. Yes, it is. So it is life that was basically transmitted over to the gas giant. Over here we have a cold gas giant with life, which I can only assume would be panspermia. And then I would assume this desert here probably has abiogenesis. Yes. So this desert here probably infected those gas giants over time. And it is a lovely, really nicely detailed desert as well. A really, really cold one. -7 degrees. But as you can see, there is like a huge snowfield here. It is basically a ball of ice, and I assume that is our polar caps, but it's kind of blending into some mountains here. And it looks like it's going to be like really, really spiky hills, if I were to make a guess. And not really spiky, kind of rounded off, but yeah, spiky hills. And of course, since we are in a star cluster, we have this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sky. Even during the day, you can see these giant bright stars. Let's get that off the screen. Yeah, suddenly my frame rate like doubles as soon as I turn that off. And yeah, there should be... Oh no, this is actually a terra, not a desert. Okay. Ah, there we go. I had water off, apparently. Well, there we go. I was gonna say, look at a giant ball of ice. There, yeah, that's much better. So I assume this is the snow, and this is actually just the color of the terrain. Very cool. So we have some snow peaks here. You know, I turned water back on in the last episode, didn't I? That's weird that that happened. And is that a crater? No, it's not. But if that was a crater, that'd be a really, really cool looking crater. It's all kind of eroded on the sides here. Very nice. Snow peaks, and the water is a nice, vibrant, bright blue, it seems. Let's try to slow down and just get above the water here. Yeah, it's a nice, bright blue water. Very cool. And since this is a cold planet, maybe it's a lot dimmer than it actually... No, this is actually about the real planet brightness. Very nice. And the diameter of the planet is 10,000 kilometers, a little bit smaller than our Earth. And it does look like we have rings here. You can see the shadows there. They're just really, really dark rings. And pretty faint as well. You can see them, though. And if I sit under the rings, it's probably not going to get too much darker. Yeah, you can see it on the atmosphere, but not really that dim rings. And you can kind of, or very, very dim rings. And you can kind of see them right there. You can see them actually rotating around, because I do have time moving, which is probably affecting my frame rate as well. And there's a nice large moon just kind of sitting there in the sky. I assume that is not too far away. In fact, no, it's actually right outside the rings, pretty much. But, very, very nice planet. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one from Andromeda. And maybe it'll be in another galactic collision, who knows. And here we go. Okay, we got a nice pink galaxy, it seems. There's the center of it. I was wondering if we were like in the center and it wasn't very bright. No, there's the center of it. It doesn't look like we are in a galactic collision this time. Is this a noted galaxy? No, it's randomly generated. So let's go ahead and reload this planet here, and let's go pay a visit to it. Okay, so I am back. I went and got something to eat, and I adjusted some recording settings. It might look a little bit better now. So yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt Andromeda against suggestions, but let's just go ahead and get it loaded in so I can at least fly around a little bit. I assume he wants me to check out one of these life-bearing planets around. Okay, so that's just a gas giant with life, so I don't think it's anything important. Let's go over to this other star. And there is a warm desert with life, so let's go ahead and check this out. There we go. Nice and detailed. And this one looks like it's totally locked. Yeah, in fact, no, it's not. Looks like it could potentially be. Oh yeah, it's 1-to-1. There's just like no atmosphere on this planet, and that's what's going on. I was wondering if I had clouds disabled, which they're certainly enabled. So continuing my rambling, yeah, basically I want to upload other content on this channel. I don't know what to upload. I have a few videos asking like what would you guys like to see. I would like to return to KSP. I definitely want to do more KSP content, like the training thing. Like I kind of did those two not really space planes, but those two planes I built. Those were really cool. I really love that A-10 Warthog. That was like amazing. Even though it's probably a super simple build, it's like I made that. It's an A-10, my favorite plane, and it's just really awesome. But yeah, I don't know what type of content to upload. Like, should it be primarily space-related stuff? I mean, I play a lot more than just space games. I don't want this primarily be a space channel. I mean, it kind of is currently, but like, you know, it's a thing with YouTube. You can't just survive on one thing if you're making a YouTube channel, I don't believe. You have to have some variety in your videos, and you have to have a selective audience for like each category you kind of do. Like you guys like this. You like SpaceEngine, you like Universe Sandbox. Those are kind of like their own little category, their own little genre. And then there's like other things I do, like the Arma stuff. I don't have like a huge viewership for that, but it's like I need to kind of develop an audience for that as well. I can't just do only space stuff. And wow, that's actually a really, really cool texture there. I don't think I've seen anything like that before. Just like a kind of line going through. Kind of like half Selena, half desert. It's kind of different. But yeah, what I'm saying is, yeah, you can't just do one thing. I have a few games I want to play. Like, Dead Space might be one of them. Nice 1080p, 60 FPS playthrough of Dead Space. I've never actually played all the way through Dead Space. I played like probably 20% of the first one, and that's about it. But I own like the entire series, I do believe, and yeah, I just have never actually beat them. So I think that would be kind of fun to play, just like Dead Space, kind of space-related game, shooter, kind of whatever, aliens and stuff. I have a lot of other games. I have Space Engineers. I don't know when the hell I bought that, but I have Space Engineers. I mean, maybe that would be something kind of cool to play. I've never played it or even seen a video of it, but I own it, and maybe that would just be a fun game to play. Would you guys watch that? I don't know. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like, what other games could I play that kind of captivate all audiences? I don't really know. The space stuff is cool. I mean, I'm not bored of SpaceEngine or Universe Sandbox. It's just like, you know, you gotta have variety in a channel. You can't just have 2 games and that's it. It's just gonna survive about as long as games will. So I mean, there has to be something more. Because I can't imagine you guys are just here for the games. You could be here for me. I don't want to sound narcissistic or anything, but maybe you guys like my personality. I don't know. Or maybe you guys just like the fact that I actually interact with the viewers and actually go to suggested IDs and things in the comments. Because there's not really a lot of that on YouTube, but eventually that's probably going to have to fade. Because reality is, if I were to get like 100,000 subs overnight, and I was flooded with like 1,500 suggestions per video, I'm obviously not going to be able to get around to that. So I don't know what the sustainability or kind of application process for me visiting planets will be in the future. Obviously right now I'm kind of overwhelmed when I get like lists of 5 from like multiple people. It's like, oh dang, that's already like an hour long. I mean, I can't just do 24/7 like recordings of this, because I'm actually going to let you guys into the okay, there we go. I got it without like my taskbar and all that. Okay, so here is how I record. Up here I have OBS. The reason why I'm doing this is because over here in the comments, somebody asked, what recording yeah, Abraham, what do you use for recording program? I've answered this actually quite a few times in my comments. People ask this a lot. I use OBS. It's free. It's completely free. It is completely awesome software. You go over and yeah, this is my current settings here: 1080p, 30 FPS, Lacos or Lance, whatever the hell that is, 32 samples. It gets rid of like weird aliasing effects and stuff. There's my audio stuff. I'm not going to show you my stream key, obviously. This is my streaming settings, 2500 bitrate. I use NVENC, which is the built-in encoder in NVIDIA video cards. So if you have a 600 series or above, you can take advantage of NVENC, and you won't even have to really tax your CPU to record. In fact, I'm only using 4% with OBS, as it says right there. I don't know how much this is actually readable. And right here, you can see I have Fubar 2000 with a playlist from Stellardrone, which, if you notice in the description of every video, that is the music that's playing. It's completely Creative Commons, and I credit the author. And he makes completely awesome music. Makes really good background music. I forget who actually suggested that one to me, though, the artist, but it's really nice music. Very calming, and works very well for the videos. Indistinguishable quality. This is the recording settings right here. This is what I use. NVENC again. MP4. Apparently, if I use FLV or MKV, I forget which one, the videos will never corrupt or something. I don't know. It's some weird format that doesn't actually have a container or something. I don't know. I just use MP4 because, well, I don't know. It's one I'm most familiar with. Yeah, indistinguishable quality, large file size. I could use high quality, but if you looked earlier in the video, that's what I was using. It's a lower file size, but it has some blockiness to it. And then there's lossless quality, which is basically uncompressed. That's incredibly large. I don't take advantage of that. Yeah, that's basically how I record, is OBS. I got Fubar right here. That is the music player. Here is SpaceEngine and a nice 1080p window. As you guys probably know, I use a 4K screen, a giant 43-inch 4K TV, and yeah, I can fit a 1080p window. This is how big a 1080p window is on the screen. It's kind of crazy. And then I have all the comments right here. So every time I want to visit something, I just select a comment, go to the ID, copy it, and then I'll just paste it into the search. And sometimes that fails, and you guys sometimes witness that. So here's the next suggestion from Andromeda, and it's kind of a nice hellish world. Let's go ahead and just go back into the normal window. There we go. And here is the entire screen right here. So yeah, that's how I do it. Works very well for me. That's actually just kind of something I developed over time as my usual recording workflow, I guess. And yeah, so there was a little bit of behind the scenes if you guys were actually wondering about how I actually record. And I hope that actually answers some questions on that. So yeah, this is a really nice kind of hellish world. Anyways, on the discussion of microphone and audio equipment and stuff, yeah, like I said, chair squeaks. Not really squeaking too much there. And keyboard clicks. This microphone's super sensitive, AT2020. Yeah. I plan on, I'm like putting out job applications, so I might have a job pretty soon, which might bite into my time. and I might not actually get around to actually uploading these videos every day. I might get around to Universe Sandbox 2 as filler content or some type of cinematic video or something, but yeah, I might be getting a job very soon, and you know, full-time work is gonna really eat into my time. Whenever I do one of these videos, it takes about 40 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes for me just to even record the video. Sometimes I'll have a fail recording, and then I'll just kind of beat myself for that, and then I'll jump right back in and start recording again, and I'll have wasted 40 minutes. And then I'll have to go through the editor, which takes me about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. I'm not the best video editor. I don't really have a good workflow for that. And Adobe Premiere is a little bit complicated for me, so I mean, I'm not too familiar with it. And yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, for the most part, I need a new hard drive and recording equipment. That's about it. Not really anything else I need. I mean, I would love to sound treat my room and put like audio foam and stuff, but I mean, that's like $50 for something I probably don't even need. And yeah, I'm rambling. I know I'm rambling. I'm repeating myself. I guess that brings me back onto the subject of, I know some people are going to suggest to be able to afford this stuff, which I can't currently until YouTube like picks up a little bit. I don't really want to start a Patreon. I know some people are going to suggest that. And if I was going to accept viewer donations, it would have to be like a significant margin. I can't just, if it's like $7 a month on Patreon, 5% of that's going to go to Patreon, and I've already crunched numbers on this because, well, it's something I just think about. Like 5% goes to Patreon, and then it's like, okay, well, I'm getting like $6 from my viewers every month. $7, whatever it might be. Is it actually worth my time and effort and setting up the account? I mean, I mentioned it before. I don't feel comfortable accepting money from my viewers or fans or whatever you guys want to call yourselves. But, you know, my viewers. I don't want to accept money from my viewers. I think that is, I don't know, it just doesn't feel morally right to me. It works for other people, and I know a lot of people are glad to donate, have like a little extra money or whatever. I don't feel like that's kind of acceptable for me just making YouTube content, which I treat as a hobby, not really a living or anything like that. I mean, obviously I can't make a living with, I only have like 482 subscribers at the moment of making this video. But if I had the opportunity to make a living, I don't think I'd want to make it on YouTube. That'd be cool if like my little hobby turned into like a substantial, like, I don't know, source of income or something like that. But I don't know, I don't feel it's very dependable. And yeah, it's just kind of a little bit more rambling. So the direction of this channel, I don't know what it is. I'm kind of just diving right in and just doing what you guys suggest. And that's why I'm kind of making proposals on like other games that I can go play. So there's no life on this Terra. But I'm seeing like textures that kind of look like life, like this kind of root looking rock texture here, and yeah, occasionally I see a texture that kind of looks like life. It doesn't look as much like a hell world once you actually touch down on it though. It actually has a nice golden atmosphere. So I'm sorry, Andromeda, for like rambling through your suggestions like this. I'm sorry if that, I don't know, comes off as kind of wrong or something. I didn't really intend for that. But yeah, this is mostly just going to be like kind of a, I'm going to probably label this video as like behind the scenes or something like that. Not as a, I don't even know if this is actually going to be considered a space engine. It will be, but you know. This is behind the scenes rambly episode. So yeah, I notice as I get more and more subscribers that my comments actually increase and people are a little bit more vocal. I don't mean that like they're negatively vocal. I mean like people are actually leaving me feedback and stuff. And you like if you go back to some of my older videos, I was actually looking for feedback. Like what should I do? So I mean, Yeah, if you guys want to leave down in the comments below, like, what games I should play or something like that. I mean, I don't have any money to actually buy any games, but I've suggested 3 already. Kerbal Space Program, Dead Space, Space Engineers. I'm probably going to keep doing Arma content. I mean, I play that on my free time. Like, when I'm not doing this, I'm probably playing Arma or something. That is just a game I play a lot. And, yeah, like, what else should I play? Hopefully it's something, like, not too time-consuming, but, you know. Like, something like Rust. I did upload a few Rust videos. Very inappropriate game for anyone who's younger watching. That game's incredibly, incredibly fun and incredibly, incredibly stressful. That game puts you in a level of fear that no other game really manages to do. I played some horror games and stuff on this channel, and I have this problem where I see cliches like a mile away, and I don't really find games scary. But Rust, that element of like, this is real and people are ready to fuck up my shit the second I log out, is like, damn, that's kind of scary. And I have like, I have too many hours in Rust. Yeah, way too many hours. Many sleepless nights. I don't play Rust anymore, so I'm probably not going to get back into Rust on this channel. That's probably not going to be a thing. And if I do, it'll probably be like a short break. But for the most part, I don't play Rust anymore. Yeah, oh, whoa. Hello. That's probably why it's such a red planet. There's a giant star there. It has a diameter of 18 astronomical units, which is incredibly huge. Like, don't get me wrong, that's like... that's most of our solar system, or inner solar system anyways. That's basically out to... I think just short of Pluto? Where's Pluto sit? Let's see. Pluto is 29 astronomical units, so yeah, it's most of the way to Pluto. Yeah, it's a very, very big star. And we are very, very far from it, so that's just an idea of how big that star actually is. And then you get that star that's 166 astronomical units like yesterday, and then, like, yeah. That's multiple solar systems. And any planets orbiting around it are incredibly, incredibly far. In fact, the small planet that was orbiting around the giant star that I think I showed off either yesterday or the day before, I showed off giant stars in both of them. Yeah, that planet that was orbiting around it, the small one that was like really close to it, was actually like 60 astronomical units away. It was incredibly far from it, actually. That's like the distance of our solar system. So, yeah. Anyways, this is a pretty awesome looking world. It has like kind of a nice golden look to it now that I've actually touched down on it. But from a distance, it's kind of hellish looking. We have this like lovely dark water here. You can see there's a volcano, and I just smacked into the ground trying to avoid smacking into the ground, but I still smacked in the ground anyways. I don't know why I don't press like this button to land on things anymore. And I just kind of broke the habit of that. So here we go again, back to this cool Terra. There's actually a black hole orbiting around it. We'll have to check that out in just a moment. But yeah, we kind of have some dark water going on around here. Which, oh, well, I forgot I selected the black hole. Terrible. Oh yeah, there's a black hole. You can see a nice lensing effect of that giant star. And the game crashed. And what's his name? Yeah, Venera? Is that how that's pronounced? Venera? Venera? I don't know how that's actually pronounced. I just found his channel like today or yesterday, like kind of yesterday. I don't know, I have a weird sleeping pattern. Yeah, I found his channel yesterday, and I'm relaunching the game. And I watched his latest 2 videos, and that's about it. There we go. A little bit stuttery, but it's all loaded in. Yeah, his latest video, he mentioned something. Oh yeah, that the game seems to get more unstable over time. Because he mentioned that he's running the same version, but in his earlier videos, it was more stable. I'm noticing that as well, weirdly enough. In my older videos, the game didn't crash nearly as much, but now it crashes a lot. Like, I don't think I've done any of my recent videos without, like, at least one crash or something. Which is occasionally what you notice those jump cuts actually are. So yeah, I find that a little bit odd that that's happening. I've even tried clearing the cache on the game. I've reinstalled the game. I put it on different hard drives. I've done all sorts of stuff, but now it's just more prone to crashing weirdly. And it's the same version. But yeah, I don't know if it's my video settings, but I don't have that issue where if I look at a bright star that everything just goes black though. You can see like this flickering and stuff happening though. It's when too many things are just loaded. Anyways, the diameter of this world is 13,000 kilometers, 1.03%. 103% the size of Earth. It has an ESI of actually 90%. That's a rather high ESI. The temperature is rather cold. It's sitting at negative 23 degrees Celsius. As you can see, this is like, I think this might be a pole. No, that might be a pole. So we have a lot of snow in this world. It's kind of swirly and weird looking. So yeah, we have a lot of snow on this world. It has 4 moons. Are they any significant moons? They might just be. I have water turned off again. That's probably what caused the issue. Maybe. Do I have clouds on? Yeah, I do have clouds on. So we have 4 moons, a bunch of small selenas. It looks like, actually no. Some of these are deserts. Some of these are deserts of similar size. Or at least this one is. Oh, check that out. This might actually be a dual planetary system. I didn't even notice that until just now. I was rambling way too much. So here's a desert with a bunch of disco craters, which I did get some comments about the disco craters. Yeah, I know what these are. It's just matter ejected from the inner planet. And I know what they are. I've had this explained to me many times. It's just kind of a running joke that I just call them disco craters. Or kind of like mispronounce them and things like that. Yeah, I know what they are. But, oh wow, it's kind of... There's no atmosphere really on this world. There's very little atmosphere. This makes kind of just a slight red glow around the planet. And then you can just see that hellish star right there. And over here in this direction, we should be able to see our Terra world. Which, yeah, the composition is sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, methane. Yeah, it's not a very healthy world. There's no life on it, and that seems like for a good reason. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion. And move on to the actual portion of the video. Let's see. Did he say Kepler 37? Did I mispronounce something? Huh. I'm wondering why Andrew is questioning why I said Kepler 37. Did I mispronounce something? Oh. I clicked on Kepler 38. Okay, yeah, that's from Nifty Dog. Yeah, basically I clicked on Kepler 38. Let me bring that up. So if I do 37, when I paste it in, sometimes it'll just default over to the next one or whatever, so that's why I got confused. Was that the most dense planet and I was confused by it or something like that? Let's go over to this object real quick. So this is apparently the most dense planet, as you mentioned, I believe. Its diameter is 4,000 kilometers, but it has a mass of 7% of that of, I think, Earth. Atmospheric pressure is not very great. It's definitely a very different looking world, though. I don't... Is that a cloud layer? Or is that, like, what the hills look like? I think that's just a cloud layer. No, that's what the hills look like. Yeah, these aren't clouds. These are actually the hills on the planet. So this is the planet you wanted me to visit. And I accidentally clicked on 38. Oh wow, there's actually pretty high atmosphere cloud layers. Really detailed ones too, as is typical with these type of worlds. because it is tidally locked, as you may have been able to tell by the giant hurricane on the face of it. But let's turn on the real planet brightness. I think it might actually be brighter than this. Oh yeah, there we go. So that's what it looks like with the real planet brightness enabled. Let's clear that off the screen. And let's see what the sunset looks like on a world like this. Very green, it seems. Kind of orange. Fades off to an orange. That's just the sunlight, though. And yeah, it's just orange. Kind of yellowish green. And it fades off to its very bright blue. And if we get a nice kind of view of it from this plane, you can see that you can start to kind of see the shadow of the planet, which is a dark color right here that you're seeing. That's the shadow of the planet, and you can just see the sun cast over the atmosphere like that. Very nice. You can see it more to a greater effect right here. That's the shadow of the planet on that plane right there. So, very cool. Very bright star. Yellow dwarf. Yeah, it's just very cool looking. So this is a planet you wanted me to visit. Yeah, the diameter's not much. I don't know if the mass really says anything. I don't see any graph for density. The gravity is 0.69. I assume that is based on an Earth scale, so 69% of the gravity of Earth. So it's over, it's about 70, let's just say 70. 70% of the gravity of Earth, but it is 1/3 the size. That gives you an idea of like how dense this planet actually is, I guess. And very cool looking. And this is in the Milky Way, I presume. And there's Magellan Clouds, and there's the Milky Way Galaxy. And somewhere around here there's Andromeda, but I ain't gonna bother looking for that. So, there we go. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. That's probably why I was confused. And the music is not actually playing. This entire time the music hasn't been playing. This video is terrible. I'm just gonna say that now. This is a bad video. But, nonetheless, go ahead and move on to our next suggestion, which is from... Let's see. Okay. So the random gamer 238 asks, so do you just suggest a system for him in the comments to visit in the comments? Yes. The way it works is you just go to any planet. You either find something on the internet that you really like, go to your favorite planet or whatever, or you can just suggest something completely randomly generated in this game. The game is entirely free if you don't already own it. You can get it on SpaceEngine.org, I believe, en.spaceengine.org for the English version. You can go to any random galaxy, such as this one, and hopefully your game will not lag this horribly. Go to any star, and you should be able to find like a nice planet. So, for example, the Scorched Desert, which is not really that interesting, since it looks like every other scorched desert, kind of. Let's see. I'm never gonna say a planet's not interesting. It's just, you know, you come across a lot of planets that look very similar and kind of quote-unquote generic in this game, because there's only so many variables in which it actually has to generate these planets. But, you know, it's a game that's in development, so, I mean, it's improving. Let's see. I can't find something. Okay, so I think this is, yeah, this is a nice world. Has some nice rings and stuff. So let's say, oh wow, actually it's really big rings. It's pretty cool, actually. Oh yeah, they're kind of purplish too. Okay, back on track. Yeah, basically, you have these IDs up here in the top left. I have this kind of thing now where I only accept 2 IDs max per person per video. Per person per video. And yeah, that's basically it. You just type out this ID in the comments and just ask me, can you please visit this ID? And I'll try to check it out. If you mistype it, then I will probably be confused and tell you to either correct it or, I don't know, make sure you are on version 9.8.0. As some people have suggested things from 9.7, which is the last version of the game. And yeah, that's it. That's all you have to do. Just put it in the comments, up to 2 suggestions. If you put more than 2, then I'm probably going to skip everything after the first 2. And that's it. Anyways, let's go and move on to the next suggestion. I just figured I'd point that out. And the next one is from XT, who has 3 suggestions. Oh, what did I just say? But it's a rambly video, so whatever, I'll visit all 3. And I think time has started in the game again. Nope, it's still paused. Okay, so that one's not copying. Okay, so he says this is a cold ice world with life and rings. Here we go. So I'm gonna have to turn up the ambient lighting on this, I think. I even see like the stars shining through any rings. Subglacial life, very shiny planet because it's all ice. But it has subglacial ice, which means we're not actually able to see the life. It's actually below the surface. It could even be in some water pools under the surface, potentially. We don't really know. And that is a beautiful galaxy there. What galaxy is that? A random galaxy. Really, really lovely blue. There's a huge cloud there as well. You see a little star cluster right there. Kind of colorful star cluster, actually, if you can actually see the detail of that in the video. There's a lot of yellow and blue kind of mixed in there. Very nice. And that is the wrong setting. I want to go to this one. I want to turn up the ambient lighting so we can see the rings that are actually around this planet. I don't see rings. Set it out of life and rings. I don't see any rings. My phone did just go off, so I will check that and see if anyone made any new suggestions. But yeah, there's no actual rings on this planet that I can actually see. And if there is, they're probably very, very dim. But yeah, very cool little ice world, and it looks like we have a bunch of little moons just orbiting around it. Looks like just those 3, though. Let's go and check out these moons, which it's just cold asteroids. Done in this game, except for the kind of texture scene that happens on them. But hopefully that'll be corrected in a future update. And I really love the way they generate. They're just kind of cool little worlds, I guess. These are pretty big asteroids as well, I assume. Let me back out of here. The diameter of it is... yeah, 25 kilometers. Yeah, those are incredibly big asteroids. Very nice. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from XD. And here we go. It is a temperate terra with life. Same galaxy, very similar, yeah, basically the same neighborhood. And this is a really lovely detailed world. Kind of a nice green atmosphere. He says it is a temperate terra with life, green atmosphere, and beautiful rings. The rings don't have any color to them, but they are pretty large, actually. Very big rings. They actually span out all the way over here, as you can see. They just kind of keep going. I think they cut off right here. So yeah, very far from the planet. We got some cyclones. I think that might be blue water. It kind of looks blue, but the green atmosphere is just kind of changing the color of it. Let's check that out. And here we are. Oh, this water... no, the water seems like it's... no, it's actually green water. I think it's actually green water. It's hard to tell. Oh, we have some greenish water, and I think I'm sitting in a crater. Yeah, that's actually a crater. That's not actually just a lake or anything like that, or an ocean. And this planet's actually pelted with craters, so if I could find a sea somewhere, like an ocean... here's one. We might actually be able to find like a giant crater mark in the planet. If I pan out right here, which... I love the clouds on this world, how they're... per hemisphere actually going a different direction. That is really nice. You can kind of see that they're going diagonal this way on this side and diagonal the other way on the other side. Very nice. A couple cyclones, and it doesn't appear it has any polar caps. Even though the temperature of the planet actually would, actually it does have polar caps, they're just really tiny. Some nice polar caps. Very nice. You can see it has about 4 layers of aurora. And let's go ahead and turn up the ambient lighting. So you can see that there's actually like a large ocean on this planet, perhaps. Ah, yes, here we go. Here's a kind of large ocean. As you can see, it has some very deep collisions there. As you can see, it gets much darker, and the game crashed on me again. And I am back, and I forget which world this is. I think this is that hell world, but the water is turned off. There we go. And let's go back to that ID again. Unstable. Very unstable game now. Go faster. Here we are. I think maybe the instability is just because of my older videos. I didn't really mess with things like the ambient lighting and stuff. Now I tamper with the video settings and like other mechanics of the game a lot. But as you can see, there's a very deep crater right here from probably a pretty nasty asteroid. The diameter of this planet is 12,000 or 10,000 kilometers, which is 83% of that of Earth. And it's sitting at a distance of 0.07 astronomical units. Is this a moon? This might be a moon. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think it's a moon of this gas giant over here, which also has life, which I can only assume is panspermia. It certainly is. And is this abiogenesis? Which would be very interesting for a moon. Oh, yeah, it is. Very interesting. Maybe this was captured in that gas giant's orbit, which is why it's probably sitting so far from it. Very interesting. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from XD. It's his third suggestion, and like I said, future videos, 2 suggestions per person. Just gonna kind of note that. And let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so it is a temperate terror with life, and it just says it's temperate terror with life with a ring. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. That is a crazy... I've seen this galaxy texture many times, but that is a crazy view of this galaxy. Look at that. There's the center of the galaxy. I think that might be the center star cluster. No, that might be the center star cluster. And just, wow, that is a really nice view of this galaxy. We're just hovering above it. I don't even see any other galaxies just kind of in sight. This green world, and I think this one might just have green water and a thin atmosphere. No, it does have a green atmosphere. Let's go ahead and just touch down right over here. And yeah, very, very like slimy green water. The atmosphere is also a green, and I really like the cloud layers on this one. It's kind of like liney clouds just kind of going across. It has terrestrial and marine life, which I think this is one of our life textures right here. I do believe. And yeah, got a little bit of sand going on there. Let's just go ahead and pan over and just wow. That view of the galaxy. We got to go to the night sky on this planet. Forget everything. We're going to the night sky, and we're getting a nice view of this. That is really awesome. I mean, I've been to planets where we're hovering like above the galaxy and stuff, but this specific galaxy texture actually looks amazing. Here we go. Nice polar caps. Let's just touch down right over here. Oh wow, we have like a nice green glow as well around the entire planet, across the horizon and stuff, and that looks like a little rock over there. Hello, little asteroid. Alright, let's zoom back out. And yeah, we just had this amazing view of the galaxy. We see our Milky Way galaxy from a horizontal plane, but we certainly... Yeah, that'd be freaky if we saw it from this kind of plane. I wonder if that would be way too bright, like way too high of a magnitude in the center there. Because we can't see Sagittarius A, for example, in the center of our Milky Way galaxy. I wonder if from this angle, if you could actually see Sagittarius A, if this was the Milky Way galaxy. Which if I select the galaxy here and then center it, I am now centered with the black hole. So what if I just zoom and keep zooming? And keep zooming. That center dot there, that is the central black hole. Okay, it's loading. I might have overloaded it. Okay, so that's the central black hole, but I might have just crashed the game. Pretty sure it crashed the game. Oh no, it's still running. Okay, I can't zoom anymore, but that is the central black hole there. Like, I wonder if you could actually see the black hole by, like, zooming in with a high-powered telescope like that. And running multiple filters to kind of cover up all these other stars in this giant cluster. Well, probably not. I just crashed the game because zooming in like that does really cause instability. So, relaunch the game for the third time. Fourth time. Third? Fourth. I'm really crashing the game this episode. That's not SpaceEngine, that's OBS. Okay, so yeah, if you like zoomed in from a planet like that down into the center of the galaxy, I wonder if you could actually see the central black hole from that angle. Because I know we have a lot of things like clouds and all that kind of in our way, interstellar dust and all that kind of stuff in the way. So I wonder if there's just far less interference if we could actually see the center of the galaxy by doing that. I'm genuinely curious. Okay, so the next one is from NefDiggity and he mentions that this is the least dense exoplanet. I forget which planet it is. I think it's Saturn. That is the least dense in our solar system. I could be wrong about that. Yeah, here's what I meant. When I pasted it in, it brought me to 454. So I kind of did that just out of habit. So this is the correct ID. Yes, 453b. So Saturn, that is the least dense planet in our solar system, and it can basically float on water. Of course, the center rocky core would probably just sink, but yeah. The gases on it can apparently float on water. That, or I'm thinking of Uranus or Neptune. I could be wrong. So we have two really nice separated rings here, as you can faintly see. I think we are in the Milky Way galaxy. This looks rather Milky Way-like. It certainly is. I mean, obviously we are. We're at a cataloged exoplanet. And there's something weird going on with these clouds. Let's check that out. They're just so incredibly low altitude clouds that they're clipping into even like the lowest terrain. Very weird. I don't think that would have something to do with the density, would it? I highly doubt that. If it was a less dense if it wasn't a very dense planet, the atmosphere would probably span out even further, but I don't know. But yeah, this is apparently the least dense exoplanet. And can somebody leave down in the comments for me how you can actually tell the density of a planet that is not, you know, how do you find the density of a planet that's an exoplanet? How do you measure that? Now, I know there's some ways you could do things like that, like if a planet had a moon, for an example, like you'd be able to tell based on the orbits or make an assumption based on that, but how do you... I mean, when we're looking at it, it's just going to be like a little speck of light, just like that. How do you get the density of that? Imagine you'd be able to see its effects on the star. Well, then again, this is discovered by transit, but I don't know. But a very cool world. The diameter is 78,000 kilometers? This thing is huge. Are we sure this is like a terrestrial world and not a gas giant? This is a really, really big world. Of course, it's not very dense, apparently. Huh. That strikes me as a bit odd. Is that the North American Nebula? Yes, it is. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which NefDiggity says is the hottest exoplanet. This is going to be like very close to like a Wolf Riot star or something incredibly hot, isn't it? 70B. Where is 70B? There it is. And here we go. Cheese. Look at the comet tail on this thing. I can't really see it because of the diffraction spikes. Okay, yeah, this star is incredibly bright. What type of star is this? Just a blue luminous blue subdwarf. Okay, so this is apparently the hottest exoplanet. 997 degrees. Okay, maybe the game doesn't actually report like the actual temperature, but I've definitely seen hotter worlds. But yeah, it's orbiting very, very close to this blue subdwarf, and this is a very, very cool looking world. I think I have real planet brightness on though. I don't. Oh wow. And that is what happens if you enable world. Whoa. Let's go to the backside here. This thing. Okay, it might be because of that moon. Let's hit play. Get that moon out of the sky here and see what the brightness is without the moon there. It actually gets quite dark. Of this world to illuminate the world. Like, the moon itself is like a sun of its own. Watch as the moon rises from this side. I think it's rising from that side. Yeah, something's happening. The planet right here. Whoa, what's going on? Is that rising? The planet's tidally locked, so... Okay. Is that the comet tail? Increase our field of view. Yeah, I think that's the comet tail. Illuminated, so the moon's probably... Yep, there's the moon rising. And the moon is like a sunrise, pretty much, because the moon is just so illuminated by the star itself. That's intense. Even has like its own sunset. That's crazy. Alright, let's fix our field of view here. That's insane. And if I turn off the real planet brightness and make it much dimmer, see, it's a really nice colored world. We got a nice kind of like, almost I would say fire color. Like it's got like that bluish color to like reddish and then yellowish. It looks like fire. Like you just lit a lighter or something. Kind of looks like that. Very cool. And it doesn't have a super thick atmosphere from what I could tell. Let's go ahead and touch down right here. Oh, whoa. Look at those clouds. Those are the clouds. There's multiple layers of them, but look at that. I've never seen anything like this in the game. And it's such a crazy view. I'm definitely bookmarking this planet. Really awesome suggestion. Once again, that was from Neff Diggity Dog. Yeah, this one's awesome. Also looks like a retro 80s kind of thing going on here with the pink and blue and stuff. But yeah, that's really cool. Is there actually 4 layers of clouds, or is it just 3? 1, 2... Yeah, 3 layers of clouds. Awesome world. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which is from Infrared. He says this one is a very dark desert. And here we go. Scorched desert. Okay, so we have some lovely orange rings, it looks like. I assume we're around a brown dwarf or some type of red star. Is that a brown dwarf? Red dwarf. Very dim red dwarf. It looks like it is a dual planetary system. That or that is a... Oh no. This is a moon of a gas giant. Okay, a frozen gas giant. And a scorched desert. So, tidal heating, I can only assume. We look like we are in the Milky Way galaxy. 74. Yeah, the color seems slightly off. Milky Way is a little bit more blue on the outsides. And let's just go ahead and touch your... Oh god, this song again. Okay, the song is called Fermi Paradox, and let me just remove it from this playlist. And next. Jeez. That song is like ear ringing. No offense to the artist. And here we go, back into that world. And yeah, it's a scorched desert, so we're not going to see any oceans. There's no life on it. Probably because the temperature is 760 or 677 degrees, very, very hot. Has a greenhouse effect of 39 degrees, and if we touch down here, we can see that lovely gas giant there, actually. That's a really beautiful view. We have a lot of contenders for the thumbnail of this video. I'm just going to say that now. We have like 3 planets that I already want to like make the thumbnail of this video. It's going to be a hard choice for me. And I think that's a little asteroid just kind of orbiting the rings. No, that's the red dwarf, actually. That is the sun of this planet. Just very, very dim there, hiding behind the rings. Very cool. I assume if I turn on the real planet brightness, this would be virtually black. Yeah. But I want to leave that off, because this looks much better. Got some kind of little sand dunes going on here. And yeah, he says it is a very dark desert. It is, but I don't have real planet brightness on, so it looks very red. With a nice golden atmosphere. Really lovely view. And you can see the shadow just being casted on the atmosphere. There's rings up there. Shadow on the atmosphere, and then shadow on the planet itself. Very nice. And here's some hills. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which is a really orange desert. Once again from infrared. And let's get rid of that question mark. For some reason, when you paste things, it will just randomly spawn in a question mark. I don't understand that. And here we go. I don't know if it's just my screen. It has like an orange atmosphere, I'll give it that. But this is actually like really yellow looking, especially with that shine on it. And tiny asteroid. Hello, tiny asteroid. Okay, so let's just go ahead and touch down on this. Okay, so as you kind of get in here, it's a little bit more orange. Very thin atmosphere. In fact, incredibly low atmospheric pressure, carbon dioxide and oxygen. And what I can only assume are really... Actually, this kind of looks like a desert. It's kind of like a valley, I would say. Rough, jagged, spiky hills. So very rough terrain. No water erosion, nothing to really smooth it down. Just a warm desert just hanging out here. Very thin atmosphere, so we must be pretty close to the star. Which, yeah, we are. It's just basically got virtually no atmosphere, so it actually doesn't heat up too much. It's at 76 degrees, so it's pretty warm. But for how close it is to the star, it's not all that warm. Here's a little volcano. Definitely has volcanic activity, as I would expect. It receiving this much energy from the star, and you can see there is actually a kind of start of a planetary system. You see like a ring of asteroids. Eventually, maybe these might condense into a planet, or condense into that planet. Kind of the birth of a system. So this is a very new star, I would assume. And over there, it looks like there might be another star orbiting close. Oh yeah, it is a binary system. Very nice. The next suggestion is from Derpsauce Gaming. He says, it is a Terra in the Black Eye Galaxy. So let's go ahead and check that out. Here we go. Warm Terra with life. It has a diameter of 5,400 kilometers, so a pretty small world. 42% of that of Earth. And this is the Black Eye Galaxy, apparently. Is that the center of the galaxy? That is the center of the galaxy. I want to have to view this galaxy in a moment. From like... Where's the world at? I see the moon. So over here. I totally lost track of the planet. Where's the planet? There's the planet. Jeez. Okay, so we have some hurricanes going on here. I can see the clouds are kind of shifted based on its hemisphere, it seems. This is a Terra with life. I'm not seeing any water, though. Okay, I got water enabled now. Ah, there it is. So you got some nice rivers here. You can kind of see the sun just shine through the water there. Very nice. Oxygen, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide. Bit of a weird combination. And here's our sunset. The atmosphere has kind of a slight greenish color to it. And you can see it fades off to a nice orange. Let's go to over here. So it's a relatively warm planet sitting at 45 degrees Celsius. We do have some lovely eroded hills here, which almost have like a whitish rock to them. And as you can see, it's actually using the sand texture as a detail mapping for this hill. Very odd. And over here we have some kind of life texture going on. Can't quite tell what that is. It's not the treetop texture though. Got some kind of rounded rocks or something going on here. And some nice vibrant blue water. Not a very detailed cloud layer, kind of low atmosphere. It looks like 2 layers of clouds. And let's go to a different section of the planet with some type of other life. Right here, we got some dark textures going on. Nice kind of polar peak on it, kind of snowy. And we got a little bit of something else going on here. Is that the same texture as earlier? I can't really tell. I want to say that kind of looks like treetops, but the color blending is a little bit different on this one. But very nice looking hills and very Earth looking. The ESI of this planet is 76%, but that's probably due to its diameter being basically half of that of Earth. Okay, so let's do this. And I like the kind of snowy peaks over there in the background as well. Let's check out this galaxy, the Black Eye Galaxy. So, where was the center of this galaxy? Over there. You can see there's an irregular galaxy just kind of off in the distance there. A little cloud. Center of the galaxy. Oh wow, that's super bright. Basically, if you visited any planet here, it's just white. There's the center of the galaxy, I presume. If I select that, yeah, it's the center of the galaxy. So if I double tap G, control double tap G, here is the supermassive black hole that rests in the center of the Black Eye Galaxy. With this lovely lensing effect. So let's go ahead and pan out over here and see what this looks like from a distance. The Black Eye Galaxy. Yeah, it kind of looks like an eye. Very cool looking galaxy. I haven't done one of these videos in a while, but let's crash the game real quick. Let's, this ain't gonna be 4K and 10 FPS or whatever, how I normally do it. But I have not done a magnitude video in a long time, and let's just see what this galaxy looks like if we increase the star magnitude. Okay. It's already rushed that to way too high. There we go. So there's the Black Eye Galaxy with an incredibly high star magnitude. As expected, kind of in the game, brighter areas of galaxies make more stars. But that's what it looks like with an incredibly high magnitude with a very, very long exposure showing like a lot more of the detailed stars. And I crashed the game, but there's a nice view of the Black Eye Galaxy with an incredibly high magnitude. That's a really cool galaxy. I don't think I've actually seen a galaxy that looked like that before, but here we are again, and we're probably going to be... Oh no, we're actually at the Black Eye Galaxy. There it goes, loaded in the game. So, yeah. I've never been to this galaxy, and I don't think I've ever seen any galaxies take this texture before. And if you look at that from a horizontal plane, you just see like a glow happen. Because when you look at it horizontally, you don't see the texture, you just see like the clouds and volumetric effects that it has. Okay, so the next suggestion, once again, is from Derp Sauce Gaming. Let's go ahead and pay a visit to it. And here we go. I'm going to turn the music down ever so slightly. Detailed Terra. Let's turn the water on. I want to turn the water on every time the game crashes. Every time I don't exit it properly. So we have some beautiful rings. It looks like we have 2 shadows, which means we have a binary star system. And I don't know what galaxy it is. Oh, we're still in the Black Eye Galaxy. So we have a beautiful Terra here, marine and terrestrial life. Let's just check out our life texture on this planet. Looks like we have a nice kind of detailed cloud layer. Very, very, very low lying. So it looks like some type of grass or moss or something on some like desert dunes. Kind of has that kind of terrain generation going on. Very interesting. Pretty contrast to the texture itself. This is that like, yeah, I don't know what to explain this texture. I would say the top of a forest, but yeah, this is like the texture I see on like every planet, and it's kind of blended in like different directions and stuff. A lot of like most planets have like this texture, but I just kind of, it's kind of the generic life texture, I would say. Our beautiful rings, just kind of making a rainbow over the horizon there. There's our 2 stars. And let's check out, oh wow, that looks kind of cool. The rounded hills here have like a nice color to them. Okay, so there's our cloud layer, which actually isn't as low as I originally thought, but these aren't very tall hills also. Nah, that is actually a pretty low altitude cloud layer. Maybe. No, not really. That's actually pretty high altitude. Nice and detailed, kind of bumpy as you can see. And we have our water, which is a dark blue this time, not actually a vibrant light blue. We are sitting at a semi-major axis of 0.75, I presume from this star. And let's go ahead and get our planet selected again. We have a diameter of 17,000 kilometers. And the composition is oxygen, CO2, and nitrogen, so very Earth-like. And an atmospheric pressure of 0.28, so not a very dense atmosphere in comparison to our Earth. A temperature of 15 degrees Celsius, negative 15 degrees Celsius, so it's a very cold planet. No. In fact, I'm not even seeing polar caps. Very interesting. There's a little bit of snow on this volcano here. You can see it shining there. Oh wow, that's actually really nice seeing the 2 stars shine like that. Very cool. Is this active? No, it's an inactive volcano. And you can see our lovely aurora effect from the top of this volcano, even during the day. Very cool. Also wants me to visit other planets in the system, which, this is A3. He wants me to go to A4, which he says is kind of... Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't look very much like Saturn, I would say. Saturn has like kind of just a kind of dull color to it. And it's kind of like a tannish color, I do believe. But the rings are pretty Saturn-like. Nice and wide and all that. There's just one thing Saturn does have that no other gas giant in this game really has with its rings. And that is a really awesome shine with like multiple colors in it. When you see the shine on rings for other gas giants, it's just not as good as the one that Saturn has. But you want me to visit its moons? I don't know if that's the correct one. You want me to go to A3 and A4? Yeah, I assume this is the Saturn-like world. A3 is a Terra and A4 is a Saturn-like world. Okay, so yeah. Very Saturn-like rings. The gas giant itself is not very Saturn-like. Actually, I want to show a demonstration of what I'm talking about. Let's go over to Saturn real quick. It is a frozen gas giant. And here's Saturn, which, as you can see, is like that kind of dull cream color. And I really love the way it's rendered in this game, because the shadows actually look exactly like the pictures that we actually see. But if I go right here, look at the shine on Saturn's rings. We got like a nice whitish color to like a blue color. It goes purple, and there's like a gold. Like the rings are absolutely beautiful around Saturn. I'd really hope that procedurally generated worlds in the future in this game have something like this. There's a little bit of pink there at the end, as if you saw. Check that out. So yeah, Saturn has really lovely looking rings in this game. And like I said, I really hope procedurally generated worlds actually have something like this in the future. There's a nice purple at the end of it, and it fades off to a blue. So yeah, very cool. And those rings actually went on for a while. They don't just end where they're like visible there. They just keep going. So, very nice. So yeah, this is not the end of the rings. They just keep going quite a ways after that. Yeah, Saturn is definitely probably my favorite not procedurally generated planet in this game. Just because graphically, it looks absolutely amazing compared to the other planets in the solar system. Like, it obviously had a lot of, like, attention to detail and, like, love and care kind of put into, like, its, appearance. You see, some of Saturn's actual moons. Like this little asteroid here, just kind of clearing its, own little section of the belt. So, very nice. Let's see, is there any other suggestions? I don't see any other suggestions. Let me refresh the page here. I did get a new comment. That's apparently marked as likely spam. Yeah, that's a spam comment. It's one of those goo.gl links, a shortened link. Yeah, if there's a shortened link in a comment, I just delete the comment. I don't normally delete comments and stuff, but when it's a spam comment like that, I just delete that. Anyways, this was a bit of a different video, a little bit more rambly, definitely a lot more rambly than my usual rambly videos. But I just kind of wanted to show you guys a little bit of behind the scenes of like how I actually record things, kind of explain what's going on and what the direction is of the channel. There really is no direction. I just kind of upload whatever I want. But yeah, basically I just kind of wanted to kind of go through and give you guys a little bit of behind the scenes of like what's kind of going on with all this. And yeah, if you guys like the video, please leave it a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, please do subscribe. It really does help. And I will see you guys in the next one.